Hi everyone, this is Dr. Hemambika, Professor in Chemistry from the Department of Freshman Engineering, St. Martin's Engineering College. Today I would like to discuss about estimation of hardness of water. So before going to this topic, we would like to discuss about what is estimation. Estimation is to find an unknown concentration of a sample. So here we are estimating hardness of water, where the hardness of water is collected from different areas. Okay. The total hardness is nothing but permanent hardness and temporary hardness. What is permanent hardness? Permanent hardness is nothing but sulfates and chlorides of calcium and magnesium salts. Whereas temporary hardness is nothing but carbonates and bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium salts. So here in the water sample, this is to estimate especially the cations, calcium and magnesium ions by using EDTA titration method. What is EDTA? EDTA is a ligand which is a strong ligand. Its full form is ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid. So by using this EDTA, which is a titration method. What is a titration method? In the titration method, which is a visualized titration method, by using burette, pipette, conical flask, by using this we can titrate one solution of known concentration against other solution which is of unknown concentration. So using this we have to identify the unknown concentration of a solution by using this method, using a calculation, that is M1V1 equal to M2V2. So let us go to the process how we are doing with this. So here by using a burette and by using a conical flask, we are handling this method, okay, visually. So this is a burette and whereas this is the conical flask. In this, whatever the solutions we are used to estimate, those can be placed over here and the other solution is placed over here. So this is, let us say, solution 1 and this is, let us say, solution 2. By using this we can estimate one solution, for example M2, the concentration of M2 finding by using this formula. Okay, here some kind of specific reagents are to be utilized. The first reagent is standard solution. A standard solution is nothing but a primary standard solution. A primary standard solution which is whose concentration is to be already known concentrated solution. So for example, here we can use zinc sulfate solution or we can use calcium carbonate as a standard solution. So to prepare these standard solutions first and within a specific concentration levels, for example 0.01 molar of level. Here molarity is a concentration unit. Either we can prepare in normalities or we can prepare in terms of molarities. So here especially we are using molarities because there is no change in the number of moles. So we are using number of mole in terms of molarities. Okay. Next, the solution is EDTA solution, which is known as a strong ligand. So this is a solution prepared in terms of a solution which is a salt, which is a hexadentate ligand, which is a strong ligand. So using this strong ligand which is having a secondary standard solution whose concentration is unknown, concentration is secondary standard solution whose concentration is unknown. So we can estimate the concentration of this solution by using this solution. Number 2 solution by using number 1 solution by using a M1V1 equal to M2V2 formula. So this is the first step. So the first step indicates that the standardization of EDTA So which is a unknown concentrated solution by using a standard or known concentrated solution. So here let us, the concentration of EDTA will be M2. Then this is concentration of calcium carbonate or zinc sulfate, which is primary standard solution, and volume of primary standard solution by volume of secondary standard solution, where we are generally taking these things. So here we should take EDTA solution. So as per this is a solution 2. So we can call it as solution 2 and this is a solution 1. Okay, so here the solution 2 is a EDTA solution whose burette is running down with a normality of specific normality we can prepare here also like 0.01 molar. Therefore, it's running down by drop into a solution presented in the conical flask. Okay, so in the conical flask, we are taking a standard solution along with some kind of, here, a standard solution. This should be pipetted out. So, using a pipette, we can take the standard solution, let us say 20 ml. Okay, and along with this, some kind of specific reagents are there. Why we are using the specific reagents, we can discuss in the principle of this part. Okay, so using here a buffer solution we are using of pH basic buffer. So its pH maintenance is between 9 to 11. And an indicator which is known as an EBT indicator, which is also a ligand, is known as a weak ligand. So this weak ligand is also called a coloring affecting reagent. It is known as coloring agent, or it is known as indicator simply. Indicator is nothing but which indicates the color of a complex reaction. See here the principle. Now let us discuss the principle, what is placed here. So in the principle part, so what the principle says, so it is basically depends on coloring agents. So its principle is known as complexometric titration. So in the what is complexometric titration? A complex should be formed at its end point. So a complex is formed in between a metal using a ligand. What is the metal here? As we already discussed earlier, that calcium magnesium from the hard water constituents is following in this reaction with a ligand presence. Here we are taking two kinds of ligands. One is EBT ligand, another one is EDTA ligand. Okay, so this is indicator, this is a strong ligand. Both are ligands, but this is weak, this is strong. This is acting as an indicator. Okay, these two can participate in the complex formations. Like for example, calcium is the metal and this can be reacted with a indicator EBT, which forms a complex like this, but which is a weak complex, so that which is also represented with a wine red color. This is happened in the conical flask because the standard solution of calcium carbonate or zinc sulfate is reacted with EBT as an indicator, which forms a complex, gives a color known as wine red color. So this wine red color now of calcium reacts with EBT as a complex. This is titrated against the content which is presented in the burette, that is known as EDTA, which is a strong ligand. So this strong ligand always replaces the weak ligand, this complex. So the complex finally becomes calcium EDTA complex and calcium EDTA complex. And along with this, EBT is released out as it is a weak ligand, so its color usually is in a blue in color, and this is colorless. colorless. Therefore, the colorless solution always dominated by a colored solutions is known as blue color. Therefore, the color endpoint is wine red to blue color. Okay, so this is the endpoint color change. Endpoint color change. So it is from wine red to blue color. Therefore, the principle explains that a complex is going to be formed at its endpoint, which is represented with a color change. There ends the chemical reaction. Until unless which reaches this blue color, we have to titrate against a EDTA solution along with the conical flask solution. Therefore, this is a endpoint. This is the endpoint where it gives a color of endpoint. So this is a complexometric titration. A titration at its endpoint complex is going to be given. So it is known as complexometric titration. Okay, and in the complexometric titration, this is the first step, and by using this EDTA second standard solution is going to be identified. So it is known as the first step, standardization of EDTA. So this is the first step, standardization of EDTA. Step 1. So we are followed this kind of estimation by using different kinds of steps. Finally, we can identify how much percentage of calcium or magnesium, or it is known as hardness constituents cations, presented in the hard water. Okay, in the first step, we identified this, and now coming to the second step. In the step 2, we can identify what is taken in this. Okay, already we have identified the concentration of EDTA concentration, already we have identified. By using this concentration, we have to estimate the hardness. So it is known as estimation of total hardness. So total hardness is nothing but permanent hardness plus temporary hardness. Permanent hardness plus temporary hardness. What is permanent hardness? We already discussed. What is permanent hardness? Permanent hardness is nothing but, this is sulfates, chlorides of calcium and magnesium salts, and whereas temporary hardness is nothing but carbonates and bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium salts. So what percentage, or it is known as what ppm of hardness is caused due to permanent, what ppm of hardness is caused due to temporary hardness. When we add these two, we will get total hardness. So here our motto is to identify calcium and magnesium constituents presented in the hard water which causes total hardness, that is due to permanent, due to temporary, we have to identify. This is the second step. Now we will discuss this. So in the estimation of total hardness of water by using EDTA, because EDTA is already standardized in the first step, the concentration of EDTA is already estimated in the first step. So using that concentration, we can follow the second step. So in the second step, estimation is otherwise known as to identify the concentration, to identify the unknown thing of concentration. So here in the second step, we can follow the same titration method, that is also a complexometric titration. So in the complexometric titration, we follow the same process of burette, and it is a conical flask. In the burette, we can take EDTA solution, and in the conical flask, now we are taking hardness of water. Where the hard water is available, like you can take sea water, or you can take river water, or you can take tap water, any kind of waters which is consisting of hardness of so and so percentage of ppms, that can be taken here, and we can calculate its concentration of a hardness. So here hardness, hard water, right? The hard water can be taken here. So this is also pipetted out, like 20 ml you can take, or 50 ml you can take, as much as possible you can take. So using this, again the same following process, like EBT as an indicator and EDTA, sorry, here buffer solution. So in the buffer, same pH 9 to 11 basic buffer, and EBT, which is an indicator which gives the color change at its end point, and this is an indicator which is in a blue color, like 2 to 3 drops we can add. Whatever adding here, that is fixed. 2 to 3 drops means the process is fixed for step to step. Whatever taking in the burette, whatever taking in the conical flask, we are following as it is. So using this and using this, we can estimate the process. After adding this, we will get a color like wine red color, as we discussed earlier, and which is titrated against EDTA, and this is, by using this we can get a color change at its end point by using M1V1 equal to M2V2. The same formula we can calculate. Now the estimation of concentration of this we have to identify, right? So here already M1V1, M2V2 we have calculated. Now we can take M2V2 equal to M3V3. As M2 is concentration of EDTA, V2 is volume of EDTA. Now M3 is concentration of this hardness constraints. V3 is volume, how much we are taking in the conical flask, that is the volume. So by using M3 we can identify M2V2 equal to V3. This formula we can able to identify what is the concentration of hardness of water where we are collecting the hard water. So this is a thing we can identify by using this. So here also the same principle, whatever the complexometric principle like calcium, magnesium previously we discussed, the same principle here also we can able to follow. So here we are following the same principle like whatever it is presented earlier, complexometric titration. So what is here, the same can be followed with the second step. Now we will enter into the third step. So here the estimation of permanent hardness of water. Permanent hardness of water. So in the permanent hardness of water, by using same method, EDTA process. So what is permanent hardness? What is temporary hardness? We already discussed. Total hardness we calculated in the step 2. It is permanent hardness. So for which a small process we need to follow, whatever the hard water we are taking and heat it. So by heating the total hardness of water, whatever the temporary constituents are going to be settled down, or in terms of carbon dioxide which is released out. So carbonates and bicarbonates are separated out from the water, and this water can be filtered, cooled, filtered and taken into another container. So this water is now as known as permanent hardness of water. So for the permanent hardness of water also, we can follow the same process whatever we exactly performed in the step 2. So that is in the burette. In the burette, it is EDTA, and in the conical flask we have taken, now we would like to take this permanent hardness of water. Whatever the temporary hardness is separated by using a heating process. Now this water consisting of chlorides and sulfates of calcium and magnesium. The calcium and magnesium is due to this is presented in this. So calcium and magnesium due to permanent hardness of water is now taking in the conical flask. So this is permanent hard water plus EBT and EDTA. So in this process also the same kind of complex will form with a permanent calcium magnesium along with EBT, which is replaced with EDTA. So permanent hardness of calcium magnesium along with EBT can be replaced with EDTA. Now the complex is calcium and magnesium along with EDT. this has been formed as the final complex. Now the formula again, M1V1, M2V2, M2V2, M3V3, now M2V2, M4V4. Why it is? M2V2 is a EDTA, molarity, EDTA volume from the burette. Now M4V4. What is this M4V4? This is permanent hardness, molarity and volume. So by using M4 we can M2V2 M4 by M4 we can able to calculate permanent hardness of water. Right. So from the step 1 we identified M2 molarity of EDTA. Molarity of EDTA. From step 2 here M3, this M3 is nothing but molarity of total hardness of water. And from step 3 M4, that is nothing but molarity of permanent hardness of water. So total hardness of water is equal to permanent plus temporary. Now we have permanent hardness of water, total hardness of water. So to find temporary hardness of water, that is like X, or you can give it as M5. Therefore M5 equal to this M3 minus M4. So by this way we can able to identify different molarities of calcium and magnesium due to permanent and temporary hardness of water. So the ppm is the parts per million, which is the units of this, and this can be molarity into 100 into 1000 ppm. By using this we can able to identify each and every thing of this. So this is finally we can able to understand that what kind of estimation process is there. So what kind of things are to be presented in this. So this is able to follow in different ways of calculation process by using tabular forms and all. So this is a video for understanding how we can perform a titration process. So in this process, this is what kind of apparatus we are using, what kind of process, what is the color, endpoint, color change, everything we can able to identify. So this is the Erychrome black tea, buffer solution, EDTA solution, beaker 50 ml, dropper to drop the EBT, and this is the conical flask, and this is the burette, funnel, and this is the magnetic stirrer to stir it. Okay, and this is water sample, hard water sample we are taking, Erychrome black tea. So like this we are taking, and drop by drop we are adding into few drops of process like this, and this will give a wine red color change, and buffer solution which is a supporting reagent. So using this pipette we can able to add 5 ml of buffer solution into this to maintain stability for a complex and also maintain pH level 9 to 11. So now we are taking it into a conical flask. Conical flask is ready with the solutions, standard solutions. And now this is a burette stand set with a burette of 50 ml, and into this 0.01 molar of EDTA solution is to be added into this. So this is added, now ready for the titration. Now this is the stirring process, no need to add in a manually, so that which is stirred into this process. So this is to be stirred, this is a wine red color, EDTA solution is added drop by drop, see, until which will be given into a EBT, color change, complex to be changed, replacement reaction or displacement reaction, which is up to wine red to blue color. So this indicates us our titration process has been completed. By using the same process, we can estimate hardness of water of different kinds of samples from different areas. So this is the estimation of hardness of water. So this process, titration, wine red color, and this is titrated agonist with EDTA drop by drop until which color changes to blue color. So this indicates us our chemical reaction is completed, a strong complex has been ready. So using this titrant, whatever is taken in the burette, that is known as titrant. So volume of water, hard water, we are taking 50 ml, and which is titrated against EDTA. So consumed volume is 1.5 ml in the burette. So we using this EDTA molarity of 0.01. This is the calculation method. So in this method, calcium hardness we are able to identify by using this formula. This is the ppm level, parts per million, so 10 to the power of 6 parts. So this is multiplied with 100, molarity of EDTA and volume, ml of means volume, and 1000 into ml of water. So this by this way we can able to understand what is happening in the process. Confirm and question, right? So here the EDTA method, by using different kinds of formulas, we are able to understand that whatever the water you are taking, the ppm levels you are able to identify. Not only in the ppm, there are different kinds of units are there to perform to this. So here, right, so generally we have a formula, molarity is equal to weight by molecular weight into 1000 by volume. So using this formula, we are able to identify each molarity, what is the weight calculation. So each solution is going to be prepared by using this formula. And finally also, by using this formula, whatever the volume molarity we got from the step 1, step 2, step 3. So like that, so total hardness of water, permanent hardness of water, temporary hardness of water, we are estimating by using this formula. So here, so what is the weight? Weight equal to molarity into molecular weight and volume by 1000. So if we want to perform this with a ppm, weight by volume into 10 to the power of 6. So this weight is to be substituted here, and this is multiplied with 10 to the power of 6 by what is the volume we have taken. So by substituting this weight into this, so that we will get a molarity of total hardness of water. For example, total hardness of water molarity is taking as M3. Some kind of molarity has been obtained. For example, we got 0.008 molarity of this we got. So this is substituted here. And what is the molecular weight of total hardness of water, means calcium and magnesium. And here what is the volume we have taken in the conical flask, that is 20 ml or 50 ml, whatever the volume we have taken, pipetted out by 1000. So this estimation is the calculation for ppm. So ppm is nothing but parts per million. This is one unit of hardness of water. One unit of hardness of water. Not only this is, the other units are also be there. So that is ppm, milligrams per liter, and degree Clerk, degree French. So Clerk is one scientist, French is one scientist. So depending upon their estimations, they have given the unit names ppm, mg per liter, and degree Clerk and degree French. So these are the different calculations. Usually in a regular manner we are calculating in a parts per million. So this is about the total hardness of water. And in the total hardness of water, we also can understand what kind of different patterns we can able to identify by using this. So here a tabular form is to be followed for each practical process. This is the serial number, and this is volume, how much volume we are taking in the conical flask, and this is the burette reading, initial and final, and this is the volume. So what is the volume? For example, calcium carbonate we are taking, suppose 20 ml we are taking in the conical flask. What is the burette reading? For example, burette reading, first initial it is 0. After that, if you get 19.8 ml, and finally what is the reading. Like that we are doing concurrent readings. Concurrent meaning repeated number of readings which is getting accurately. So this is the process of estimation of hardness of water. Thank you.